Bow. Welcome to the latest installment of the Indigo Lab. I'm your boy Chef Radio, here as always with your boy King Karan for the director. We have Nikki Nugs on the soundtrack. We appreciate you stopping through. This week, we're doing something a little bit more on the fancy side. It's gonna be more advanced if you're gonna try to make it at home, but it's definitely worth the time and the effort. We're gonna make a white chocolate ube souffle. Sound like a rapper saying that. I like how I said that. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna make we're gonna do a infused passion fruit cremon glaze. So we're getting real fancy over here. Soufflé, cremon glaze. I'm just throwing out words. I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get into it. First things first, we gotta make the base of the soufflé. Let's get cracking. All right, so we're gonna melt down our white chocolate here first. We're gonna use a double boiler because if we try to do it straight on the stovetop or our burner, it's gonna scorch our chocolate and just burn it up. So this is a more gentle way of melting your chocolate. I got about 5 ounces of white chocolate here. Just gonna let that start to melt. See what, You gotta see what Bubba's talking about. Ugly in here. Y'all don't even know that. Bubba Sparks. I liked Bubba Sparks, he was all right. But I think he went full MAGA after. I think he went back to his roots. So the double boiler method takes a little bit, but once your chocolate starts melting, you'll be good to go. We're not there yet, but it's starting. I can see it starting to melt. But we're gonna melt down our chocolate, let it cool down a bit, and then we'll add in the other ingredients to our base. This is where all the flavor is gonna be. The base of your souffle is your flavor. Whatever you wanna do, you could do dark chocolate, you could do no chocolate, you could just do vanilla, cheese, spinach. There's so many different varieties that you could do with a souffle, it's crazy. It's a dessert and it could be a breakfast, depending on how fancy you're trying to get. Yeah, it's starting to melt down now, nice and smooth. I'm not looking crazy or sounding crazy. And once everything is real smooth, I'm gonna take it off because I don't want it to get too hot, because we have to incorporate the eggs next. All right, so next step, we're gonna add a little bit of this ube extract. That's gonna give it the purple look that we're going for. Ube is Filipino for purple yam. So that's our word of the day. And it turns whatever you put it into just fucking beautiful, so. Add our ube. Next step, we're gonna add our egg yolks. We got 3 egg yolks going in here. Get that nice and mixed up. It looks like Ivan Ooze from the Power Ranger movie. All right, last step to the base. We got 5 tablespoons of flour, and just AP flour, and then I got another tablespoon of the ube powder just to reinforce what we got going here. And we'll get all that mixed up. I gotta switch to a paddle. 1 second. Let me get all this shit out of here. Okay, you can go back now. Add a little milk. Cause this is crazy. Just a tablespoon. Just needed to be able to hydrate everything and kind of soak up what we got going on here. There we go. All right, so that's our finished souffle base. Obviously, we got our nice purple in there. Next step, we're gonna fluff up the eggs, get it mixed up and get it in the oven. So let's get to these next pieces. Bam. So next step, we're gonna fluff up our eggs. We got about 6 egg whites. Can't really turn them or they'll spill the fuck out. Get them in our blender. And when you're fluffing up, like when you're trying to make a meringue or something like that, you want to kind of fluff up the egg whites first and then start to add in your sugar and everything else. We got about half a teaspoon of white vinegar going in there just to help stabilize it. We'll start low and then work our way up. Okay, so now that our eggs have gained a little bit more size as far as volume is concerned, I'm gonna start to add in our powdered sugar. You wanna gradually add that in there. I got about a half a cup here that I'm gonna add in. And you kind of wait for it to hydrate and then you'll add in another spoonful. I'm gonna up the speed too. Come on. We didn't waste that much. Hey, we didn't waste that much. All right, now we're done with that adventure. We got nice stiff egg whites, like super crazy. So we're gonna add this into the souffle base, the ube base, and then we'll get it into a nice little cauldron. Good. All right, so I wanna show you how we're gonna butter our dish for our souffle. It's kind of a specific way that I learned in school that I've always kind of stuck with. Obviously, you'll just put a little bit on the bottom, but when you're putting it on the side, brush in a vertical motion, like brush up. And it just, for some reason, it just helps the souffle rise. It almost like, it creates a track for the dough to kind of go on. I don't know if it's superstition or not, but when an old chef tells you something, you just listen. And when he has an accent, you really listen. You're like, huh? Did you just call me the N-word? I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar in there to kind of coat it. Coat the sides. Got a hole in there.
Oh, in the thing?
Yeah, there's a hole in the little thing. In the.
So I thought you was.
Yeah, I thought you thought I was spilling it. I'm spilling it now, but. You bitch, get off me!
That song.
That was my shit.
Think about it. When did that song come out?
2015.
6, almost 6.
Rolling number broccoli.
That song was fire.
That was my shit. That's the only Yachty song I can say I like.
I like One Night.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I have to play for you. It's funny.
Doom. So we got our nice buttered dish, buttered and sugared dish. We're gonna just set that to the side. And we're gonna get focused on our souffle here. So the first round is not gonna matter, but you're gonna basically use a technique called folding when you add in your egg whites into your base. So the first round, I'm just kind of mixing it up so that this mixture becomes a little bit more smooth so that I can fold in the egg whites easier. So bear with me. It's gonna look ugly and it'll come together. Just trust. That's why I said the first round is a wash. Like, as far as trying to preserve any air, it's not happening. You just wanna kind of rehydrate your mixture. Do a little bit more. There we go. A lot more manageable so that we can fold in those egg whites. See how it's just a little bit smoother. Give me a little bit more leeway. Cool. All right, so next rounds, you're definitely gonna wanna be more careful with trying to save the air that you spent in your egg whites. So you want to fold it in. You don't want to stir it, you want to fold it. Get all that stuff off the sides. Uh-oh. A little bit more of the egg whites. I'm super happy with how these egg whites turned out. Definitely gonna have to get some souffle pancakes done. Same method, same mindset. Trying to get used to this new mics, so that's why I just held my chest like I was Red Fox. Get your fold on. Get your fold on. Everybody, get your fold on. What? Man. Labor-intensive meal, like I said. This is for definitely the advanced crowd if you're gonna try to make it, but it's something like magic, man, when you make a souffle. And when you make a dessert souffle, fam, you can really show yourself. You basically want to stir it until there's no streaks left. It's all kind of one color. Every time I fold it over, I see some more white. So that's how you know I'm not done. What's your favorite Prince song, King Karan? Doves cry. Boy. I'm just saying that mother.
It's yours.
Shit. Head.
You said what?
Head.
I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Man. I can only imagine being, you know what I'm saying, somewhere and hearing him perform that. And everybody's down. Because you know his band is going nuts.
Mm-hmm. His band was always going nuts.
Bringing that out. Yeah, Head, that's probably my favorite one. All right. Got a nice smooth mixture here. Get this out of the way. Let's see. Who doesn't know that we're shooting a show right now? And who doesn't?
My man, my sneeze is on you.
Sound like somebody got shot. Okay, so we preheated our oven at 375. We got our nice souffle here in our cast iron. Shout out Gary Moore, that's my dog. That's who's calling me right now. So, now that we got our souffle here in our nice cast iron pot, I'm gonna put it in our oven for about 30 minutes. I preheated our oven at 375. I'm gonna let it go, like I said, for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna leave the light on so I could check on it, because you don't wanna open the door. You don't wanna be loud in your kitchen. This is a time if you just sit down, smoke a joint, and just chill, if you're not gonna make the cremon glaze. But we gotta do the next step, so we're gonna be real quiet. This is going in. Head, till you get enough. Head. All right, so the next step is our infusion. I made a infused passion fruit, half and half. Yeah, obviously is what it is. Half cream, half milk. Turn this off because I don't want our butter to burn. But took it all, blended it up. How I infused the passion fruit though, that was a little tricky. I took out these little granules, because that's where the seeds are. And man, I put it up against a mesh, and I basically just rubbed it up against there and got all the pulp out of there and infused our cream. So blended all that up together. We got a nice hash infused passion fruit cream mixture, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We'll put that in our burner, let that start going. Got a half a cup of sugar going in there. Let that melt down. Just keep agitating this so it doesn't curdle or anything. See how hot this is. So the cremon glaze is gonna be a little bit tricky. Another tricky element, because I like that, is we're gonna temper some eggs. What that means is we're gonna cook eggs basically so that they can be consumed within whatever medium they're in. So basically we're gonna temper the eggs for the cremon glaze. The cremon glaze is just a nice fancy French word for pudding. So we got our milk and cream in here and our sugar. I'm gonna add, gradually, I'm gonna add in our eggs. You wanna gradually add them in, because if you add them in all together, they're gonna cook and it's gonna mess up the whole deal. You don't want scrambled eggs in your passion fruit cream. You want pudding. You want cremon glaze. Second egg is in there. I turned off the burner just because this burner gets really hot, but I know that our mixture is definitely warm enough that I can start this process. This smells so good. Woo. It's definitely one of those things that you want to stay on top of. You don't want to walk away from it. You definitely have to stir it as you go. because you don't want to end up with scrambled eggs in there, like I said. And it may take you a couple of times to try this. Maybe don't try it with the passion fruit. Maybe just do it with vanilla bean, just so you can get used to the process and the technique of making a pudding. We almost have all our eggs in there. We're gonna cook this mixture to 185 degrees. I got our thermometer here, and I have another friend that I want to introduce to the mix once it all comes together. Just cause, hey, why not? Karan looked at me like, who are you bringing in here? Let's get in there. Get the rest of these eggs in there. Gotta move. See where we at on temp. All right. And just right before it ends, I'm gonna add a little splash of bacardi. Take it off, let this finish. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna finish this in an ice bath so that it comes all together and cools down all the way. And it's gonna be a great addition to add into our ube soufflé. Yee! I was looking down. Sorry. I didn't want scrambled eggs. Show them how we do this. Ice bath. All right, so we strained out our passion fruit cremon glaze into a bowl here. I'm just kind of letting it air out with the ice bath underneath it. Ice bath just help, cool everything down after you're done cooking it. Obviously with something like this, you can do it a day ahead so that you don't have to worry about trying to rush and do it before your souffle is done. So you'll just do this until it gets cold, and then you can pop it in the fridge until you're ready. Clean. You rolling? Family.
What the fuck?
Get your pictures in. Get your pictures in, brother, because this is the work of art.
Victory. Game. Blouses.
I was there, I seen it. You don't believe me? You think I'm making it up? You think I'm trying to, enhance the story because I'm involved? And try to give myself an excuse for losing?
Paying homage to the god Prince. We have a passion fruit cremon glaze to go alongside it. And you definitely want to get into this right away before it falls. We appreciate you stopping through to the Indigo Lab. I am Chef Radio. We have King Karan as director as always, and Nikki Nugs on the track. Please come through, fuck with us, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fly shit. We love you here at the Indigo Lab. I'm still trying to get used to the new mics. Bow, bow, bow. Check with us next week. Bow, 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 bow. Ah.